Your legs are in it. Whoa, there's 12 people. Hello, who is here? Show yourself. Oh, hello, people. Hello. Lord, people, tell me your name. Where are you from? Tiffany, oh God, I didn't see it. Jordan's about to take a nap, so just disregard. I tried my hand at that wavy pattern. I'm sure you guys have kind of seen some wavy crochet pattern stuff on YouTube. I think I saw it on Instagram a week ago. So I tried it. The pattern itself is not difficult. It's just so time consuming because these are all single crochet. And it's really, really tight. So I get big hand cramps, but I made 2 panels. I worked on it like on and off for almost a week. And now I'm going to try to stitch it all together and add handles to it. It's a lot of work. Oh, Lordy. Oh, shoot. There's already 23 people in here. That was fast. Let me know if my music is a little bit too loud for you guys. I don't like just sitting in silence. I think it gives me anxiety just talking in a quiet room by myself. So I need to have a little bit of sound. But Gabby, you said I have to try the Nina top pattern. I don't think I know that. Can you send me like a link for it? Is Nina the name of the creator, or is it like the name of the top itself? I don't think I've heard of that yet. Oh, Brittany Aguilar. I've seen your name a bunch recently. I'm glad you made it to a live chat, though. I know you guys probably hate that I never have like a set time that I'm coming on here. I just come on when I have a moment. Sorry. Well, I can already tell that stitching up this bag is going to take a very long time. Hi, Maya. Oh, Cynthia, you made a wavy bag as well? What colors did you use for yours? I like it, but I think there's just a lot going on because there's sections where it's like nice and thick like this, and then it alternates to like really, really steep stitches, and then thick, and then thin again. I think it's like a lot. It was hard to not lose track of stitches. So I'm trying to actually write out, like for myself, I'm trying to physically write out a more simple wavy pattern that I can follow. Because half the time that I was making the bag, I just spent like counting stitches, like, oh, did I miss something? Or like trying to calculate. It was kind of a headache. Cheska. I might be. I might be dropping a tutorial for not this exact bag, but maybe a little bit more of a simple wavy pattern. That's what I spent some time, like right before I hopped in this live, physically like drawing out the pattern. I think I've mentioned before, but when it comes to like the flame vest or like a pattern like this, I physically use like I make like my own graph paper, so I have like all the boxes for me, and then from there I can draw the pattern within the boxes so I can see exactly what stitch goes where. So it's a lot easier now that I can see it written out. I think it'll be easy to kind of teach you guys too, because I'll not only have like something for you guys to watch me do, but you'll also kind of have like a little graph on the side to follow. So if you would like a wavy tutorial, I could try to whip that up. It might be a little bit faster than crop top. But thank you, Jessica. It took me like a week. Shouldn't have, but it's just so tight. I think I used like a 4.5 millimeter hook. I'm like, worsted weight, because I wanted it to be super thick so you couldn't see my yarn in between the stitches, because my technique is to like use the working yarn and then carry your non-working yarn within your stitches. And if I had opted for like a 5.5 hook, it would have been kind of too see-through, and you would have been able to see like aqua through the pink. Because even when I bring it close, you can see that yarn in between. So I had to use a much smaller yarn. Thank you, Cynthia, for your feedback on the music. Yeah, pink is, I don't know. I mean, I guess these two colors go together because they contrast with each other. But I'm not sure about this pink, this bubblegum pink. Maybe if I had used like a really light blue or a really dark blue, something that kind of goes along with this teal color, it might have pleased me more. So if I make that wavy tutorial, I'm thinking of using like a black yarn and like a mint blue, mint green type of color, just so that you can really see like the definition in the waves. Because this is like so much. This is really in your face. Maybe I should have used like an orange. What is it? Oh, am I pulling it out? Cheska, where did you get the pattern for this bag? I've seen a couple different photos of like wavy bags on Instagram. And like I mentioned earlier, some were like all this thick pattern just for the whole thing. And then some were all this thin, like extreme wave pattern. So I tried really hard to like mesh the two. And like I said, I think it looks super, like it looks cool from afar, but it's super busy. Like when you change up between this thicker pattern and then this steeper, thinner pattern, it becomes a lot more difficult to keep track of your stitches. Even when you have a graph, it's really hard to remember which stitch to carry over. Like, how do you start your next row? Am I going to start with a green or a pink? How do I finish the row? And several times I had to kind of frog my work because I got like halfway through the row and I realized I was skipping like one stitch. So yeah, I kind of tried to mesh the two together from what I've seen. Like I said, if I end up doing like a video, I think it's either going to be all like a thicker section like this, where it's just short waves like this, or the whole thing will be big, steep waves. That way the pattern is more repetitive. Cynthia, you said try singe crocheting it together instead of sewing it. By singe, do you mean like single crocheting the two panels together, or like slip stitching the two panels? Because I've done that for other like bags and stuff that I've made. And I thought like that would be a lot quicker. Like single crocheting it together would be really quick. But this is already, I don't know if you guys can tell, but this is like dense because I use such a small needle and this is like worsted weight. It's super dense in here. Like this thing is thick. So I kind of didn't want to like single crochet the two pieces together because I didn't want to end up with a really, like you can see this is already like a thick edging. I didn't want to end up with an even thicker edge. And then when I try to flip it inside out, it's like all bulky. But I have tried like slip stitching, like when I used my beanie tutorial. I don't remember what else. But yeah, like slip stitching or single crocheting, like two pieces together, like panels, is a lot faster. But I always end up with such like a bulky edge. So I'm trying to see how it will turn out with this very tedious. It's looking okay so far. Can you all see that? Babe, your butt's on camera. Put a pillow right there. Put the blankie over your butt. You see your butt crack. Ooh, Cynthia, you said you used white and a dark red. See, that would be really cool because you kind of have like a nice calm white color and then the red contrasts it. That's pretty much what I want to do, but in reverse. Like I do like the all black and then like a light minty kind of color, but the red, that looks really cool. Danny with a heart. I'm pretty sure I recognize your name from the other time too. And Josephina. Hi guys. I love seeing returners. Ooh, Brittany. You want to do orange and brown. Like, are you talking about like a wavy bag, orange and brown? Because I actually really like that idea. And now that I'm thinking about it, I really like that. Or even like a yellow and brown. 70s vibes. Don't worry, I won't take your idea. But if you end up making an orange and brown bag, I know it's like not my pattern, but can you just send it to me? I want to see. I love seeing what you guys create. Like a lot of times you guys send me DMs and stuff of things that you've made. Sometimes you guys have even sent me photos of like, it has nothing to do with patterns that I've shown. But you guys would just show me like, oh, hey, I made this. Like somebody sent me the other day, like, oh, I made this patchwork cardigan. I just want you to see it. And it's really fun kind of seeing your guys' creations. Pia Vega. Vega, are you going to post a tutorial of it? If you guys really want to see a bag tutorial, I could try to throw one together. Like I said, I have, where did I put it? I drew out like a physical pattern on a graph just like 30 minutes ago. So I haven't started to film it yet. But if you want to see a tutorial, I might as well. Because I think either way, whether I make it the tutorial or not, I plan on making, like remaking this bag with that black and that mint color. But I guess if I'm going to be making it anyways, I might as well film it. Excuse me. Yeah, Cynthia, you meant a single crochet and then turn it inside out. Yeah, I've done that. I don't want it. It's like already so thick. I don't want it to be even like bulkier, but I do feel you. I've done that 100 times before. AB, does using a smaller hook make the bag sturdier? I always use a 5.5. My grandma taught me when I was younger, and that's the size she gave me. I didn't know there were other sizes till recently. What? You didn't know there are other crochet sizes? Oh no, poor thing. Yeah, right here on my desk. You can get a hook from like the tiniest thing possible to like the fattest hook possible. These are not even all the hooks that I have, but this is kind of just like my everyday crochet, bag that I kind of just take with me wherever I go. You can buy hook sizes from like anything. So right here, these are really, really tiny. These are like, this starts at a 0.6 millimeter hook right here, this first silver one. And then they go up to like 1.5 millimeter, 2.0. Oh yeah, 1.9. And then here are my more everyday stuff. So up here, I use these hooks for like all my worsted weight or even like DK weight stuff. I'd say my everyday hook is a 5.0. That's like my go-to. So you're using a 5.5, that's not too far off, but every now and then I will go for a 6.0. If I'm going to make something really, really chunky, you can grab a 6.5. In my closet right now, I have a 10 millimeter hook. It's fat. I used it to make a baby blanket once. But yeah, generally using like a smaller hook, I don't know so much about sturdier would be the word, but just tighter. It makes your work a lot tighter. So, I mean, when you think about things from like a larger perspective, if you're going to make a top and you're going to use a 7.0 millimeter hook, it's going to be very chunky. You're going to be able to see like the holes through your work pretty obviously. But when you start to size down even smaller, your work just gets a lot tighter. So like I've said, when I've made like tops and dresses and stuff in the past, my technique is usually to size down like 1 or 2 hooks because it makes the work tighter, which means there's not as many holes in your work. Like they're not as obvious. The gaps are not as obvious. So if I don't want my work to be see-through, like if I'm making like a bralette and I don't want anything to be see-through, I'll size down a lot. If you're going to be making like sweaters and stuff where you can see gaps and it's not as important, you can use whatever hook size you want. But sizing down is more so just my preference. Again, for this, the reason why I sized down so much was because if I bring them really, really close, even if you look at like my pink stitches, I can't even see here. Even if you like look at my pink stitches, you can see that teal yarn hiding in between all of my work. So because I was carrying 2 different shades of yarn, I was able to see it. And because I'm sizing down, my work is just so much more tight that there's less chance of a gap. There's less chance that you'll be able to see all the different colors that you're carrying through your work. So same thing like when I made my flame vest, I was carrying a yellow yarn, a lime green yarn, and a black, all in the same row. And I chose to size down my hook for that project as well. I think the recommended hook size was 5.5 or maybe even a 6, but I chose like a 5.0, I think. Just a step or 2 down because I had so many colors. I didn't want the colors to poke through the gaps and be very obvious because that would distract from the pattern. So theoretically, if you look at this, I used, I think, a 4.5 or 5. If I had used like a 6 or 6.5, there would have been so many gaps. It would have been very loose and see-through. And with all the blue poking through the pink and the pink poking through the blue, it would have been very distracting. So Very long explanation, but that's just why I chose to size down. I'm sure you'll find other crocheters here on YouTube who choose to not do it and their work comes out looking completely fine. But it's kind of just like a worry of mine. I don't want to work the whole piece. And then I'm very like nitpicky with my work. I don't want to say perfectionist, but if I see something wrong with it, I'm the type that will tear apart the entire project just to get to that one stitch that I missed. So I didn't want to work the whole bag and then end up tearing it out because the little gaps were bothering me. Why do I always rant whenever I explain things? Thank you, Josephina, though. I'm glad you like these. I guess having the pink does help the whole thing pop out. I'm trying to get more comfortable with my pinky bubblegum pink shades. Danny, your grandma used to crochet too. I still have her hooks and keep them safe. She used to make tablecloths, and doilies, and they look so beautiful. Yeah, my grandma too. My grandma is, she just turned like 92 this year, but she still crochets to this day. At her home, she has like a table runner, like a tablecloth for her kitchen table. And the women in my family make doilies and stuff too. I actually have never attempted a doily because that's just not my style. I'm more of like a clothing maker instead of like accessories or like house decorations. Brittany, yes, a wavy bag, orange and brown. You can totally make it too. That would be awesome. Well, thank you for letting me take your color idea if I do it. I know first up I do want to do that black bag, but in the future, if I have time, I will credit you for your color selection. Emma O'Connor, when did you start crocheting? I don't know the exact age, but I want to say that I learned how to crochet when I was around 6 or 7 years old. I could be wrong. Maybe it was like 7 or 8, but I was really, really young. Way before puberty or high school or anything like that. I was really little. And my aunt taught me. My aunt taught me first how to make basic stuff like square stuff like scarves, squares and rectangles. And then it's getting kind of dark. And then once I started crocheting more often, my grandma taught me how to make stuff like blankets, like bigger scale things. Yeah, don't be fooled. I haven't been crocheting for like 20 years straight. I learned when I was really young and I did it for a handful of years. And then I would say all throughout high school, I didn't really touch a hook too often. I think I might have made like 2 or 3 things throughout my whole high school career, like shoulder bags, really basic stuff. And then in college, at the very end of college, I ended up picking up crochet again. So I've kind of been on and off my whole life. But throughout those years, I was always kind of like learning a new pattern or like a new stitch. But no, I wasn't consistent with crochet like my entire life. It was kind of like an on and off again hobby. And then in college, a lot of my friends and family friends started having babies, and I wanted to make like a very personal thing. I didn't want to just go buy a onesie and give that as a gift. So I was like, well, I know how to crochet. It's kind of like grandma of me, but I'll crochet. So I started making a ton of like little baby blankets for friends. So I started kind of getting back into it again. And then it wasn't until about a year or 2 ago, right before the whole pandemic, where I started actually making clothing. I had never made like a top or a skirt or anything like that before until everybody was kind of stuck at home. I don't know why I never really tried. I don't think I just ever seen like a pattern or a top that I was like dying to wear. But I feel like just in the last few years, just knit fashion, crochet fashion has blown up so much on social media and just in the fashion industry. I'm not aware of like all that stuff. I just see stuff on Instagram, and then I started seeing stuff on Etsy, like patterns, and all of a sudden there were just like a ton of tops that I wanted to make, like that I could see myself wearing. And then out of the blue, I just kind of started to teach myself how to make actual clothing items. But for like the last 15 years, if not more, I only ever made scarves and beanies and blankets, and that was it. Rachel Murray said, I'm crocheting the same bag as I watch. I did sage green and a cream color. Ooh, see, you guys are so creative. I don't know why I went with such like crazy colors, because both of these colors are bright on their own. Like this is a nice teal color. This is the bubblegum pink. And my too much Jean said, do both. But I really should have done like one bright color and then one like neutral. I don't know why you guys have better ideas than me. Jade is yelling at me. She said, hey, what yarn do you use for your bikini? If you're referring to the video that I posted a couple days ago, it's like Tuesday, I used the Lion brand Nubu. If you go to the video in the very beginning where I show you what products I'm using, you'll see like the name of the yarn. I quickly show it, but the one that I've used the most is Lion brand Nubu. It's made out of lyocell. I like it a lot. It's really silky and soft. It feels really good on the skin. But if you're going to use it, keep in mind that it's a pretty thin yarn. It's not a worsted weight. I think they classify it as worsted. It's not. So you'll have to use a much smaller hook to make the bikini, especially if you don't want your bikini to be see-through. Like me, you'll try to size down a step or two. So in the past, when I've made the bikinis, I usually use a 3mm hook. I know there's a ton of other bikini brands. Some people have DM'd me some Italian yarn brands to use. I haven't bought that for myself, so I haven't tested anything out. I myself, if you're just gonna like wear it to the beach and like sit out in it or take photographs in it, you can of course use like an acrylic yarn. But if you're looking for a type of yarn that you can physically get wet, swim in, go swimming in, you're gonna have to find a very specific yarn. Like you can make a bikini out of anything, but if you want it to be versatile, you gotta kind of Google around and find those versatile yarns. A yarn that I haven't grabbed yet, but I've heard a lot of good things on is called Alize, Alize, Diva yarn. I've heard that that's really good for bikinis. So try to grab that one, but I have not used a lot. I have not used a lot yet. Cheska, what are some local yarn stores you would recommend in SoCal? So I've been struggling with that one. I've been to a few. I've gone back a ton of times to a bunch of different shops, but I would say one really consistent shop that you could go to is in Redlands. And the name of the shop is called Hands On Knitting Center. I believe they're also on Instagram. You can Google them. It's HOKC, Hands On Knitting Center. But the entire shop is in Redlands, California. It's in SoCal. And I could be wrong, but every time I've gone in there, I'm pretty sure that the entire store is run by females. So go my kind. But the ladies in there are really helpful. They're very curious about what you're making. They've got a ton of suggestions. They've got a ton of yarn. I've never seen so much yarn in one kind of shop. And the cool thing about their store too is they have not only like name brand stuff like Malabrigo or other names that I couldn't even tell you, but they also have a ton of yarn made by local artists. I don't know any of their names, but the last time I was in there, they were showcasing local artists who hand dye their own yarn and try to sell them. So yeah, if you have a chance, I would really suggest Hands On Knitting Center. The ladies in there are really kind. Selection is huge. I would say that that's my number one. It's really hard. Every time I've gone like on Yelp or on Google Maps, there are not a lot of local or like ma and pa yarn shops. A lot of times the only thing that pops up is like Hobby Lobby or Joann's or Michael's. But as we all know, those I don't want to say mainstream, but their yarn is just so basic. Like it's affordable type of yarn, which don't get me wrong, I love. But if you're trying to make something like really one of a kind, like hand-dyed yarn, you're not going to get that at a Joann's. At least I've never seen anything there like it. AB, you're welcome. I'm glad I was able to help you. I'm sorry like I rant so much when I explain things, but I hope you understand what I was trying to explain. Samira, hi, do you use other kinds of threads or only yarn? I would say 90% of the time I use yarn. But there have been a few times in the past where, if you like go back in my previous videos, I've used threading. I believe the brand is like Aunt Lydia's crochet thread or Aunt Lydia's thread. The thickness of the yarn is thinner than fingering weight. I believe it's a lace because it's physically like a thread. It's so petite, it's so tiny. And I made a dress out of that, out of threading, and it took me weeks, and I messed up my hands. My hands were literally bloody. So, I mean, typically I like to use yarn because you can just get projects done a lot faster. I have not really come across any images or patterns for like a top or a dress or something that I want to make out of lace. A lot of times it's some type of yarn, whether it's fingering weight or DK or sport. But threading is not really my go-to. It's not my forte. My hands cramp a lot with a tiny needle. My hands love a 5.0 hook. That's my safe spot. Pia Vega, do you sell the things you crochet? Yes, I do. I believe on almost all of my videos that I post in my description box, I always try to link my online store. I can link it for you here for anybody that just wants to check it out. Don't feel pressured, but I'm just going to link this for Pia, just so you can check out what I'm talking about. But yeah, right here in the chat, I'm just linking my online store. Not everything that I have a tutorial on I sell on my shop, but I would say like 80% of the things that you see me make on my channel, I add to my online shop. I like customizing things for people. It's really fun. Brittany Aguilar, again. Hello again. Mary June. Okay, that's a good question. What is your favorite hook size and yarn weight to work with? Mine is 3.5 and a DK weight. Yeah, I'm trying to branch out more, and I like working with DK because sometimes the worsted weight can be really chunky and you don't end up with like a delicate looking top. You kind of end up with like a funky, chunky, thick, heavy type of top. My comfort range, I would say, is like a worsted weight and a 5.0 mil hook. But I'm starting to get more comfortable with, like, I love working with DK weights just because it's a lot more lightweight. Your work's not as thick. Like when you wear it, your shirt's not like so thick like this bad boy would be if you wore it. If I could have it my way, I'd probably say 4.5 hook and a DK weight would be my favorite. But a lot of times, just for ease, like access to yarn and stuff, I end up working with number 4 worsted weight yarn, and of course right here next to me is my 5 mil hook always. Loza, I remember you from last time. Hello, hi. I can't pronounce this name. Dham 21. Hi, Erin. Do you do yarn review? I don't know if I've done like a full-on review, but I just posted a yarn haul where I kind of talk about the yarns that I've picked up recently and like my opinion of the yarn. So it's kind of like a yarn review. It's not super in-depth, but I tell you what yarns I've picked up recently, what type of project I'll use for that yarn, what kind of hook I'll use for that yarn, the pros and cons to the yarn, what it's made out of. So it's pretty much like a review, but oh no. Oh, I did that. I did it. Okay. Gabby, you said the Nina top pattern, it's all over Pinterest. Try it. I think I have like a Pinterest, but I never go on it. Like I don't even know what my password or anything is. If you can try to link it for me in this chat room so I can see it. But I sadly don't. I've probably seen the Nina top like on Instagram or something, but at the moment I'm not really sure what top that is that you're referring to. I'd need like a photo or like a link. Sasha, I like crocheting, but there is no yarn shop near my place, and shipping is hella expensive in France. Oh, that's right, you're from France. Damn, that's actually really difficult. Like, I wouldn't even know. I'm assuming you don't even have like a, what's it called? Like, you don't even have like a Michael's or a Hobby Lobby or like a store like that. I don't know what I would do if there was nothing like within distance, because I'd say within 20 minutes from my house, there's either a local, like one local yarn shop, or there's a Michael's, a Hobby Lobby, Joann's. And granted, it's not my favorite yarn to go to, but it is within my reach if I need it. Honestly, shoot. I'd say your best bet, if there's nothing near you, would be take a couple months to like really do some like reviews on yarns, like really search around and like find yarns that you really want to use, and just kind of like make a list and try to like bundle it all together. That way, yeah, the shipping might be expensive, but you're going to be purchasing maybe say like 20 balls of yarn all at one time instead of 3 balls this week and 4 balls the next week. I feel like in that situation, there's not much you could do. I would say just try to bulk order so you're only paying shipping that one time, even if it's like 30 something bucks. You're only going to order it that one time, but you're going to get 40 balls of yarn. And then that way you won't have to order again for a really long time. Gabby, who is your favorite crochet content creator? I actually don't know. I've seen a handful of videos. I don't know who I go back to time and time again. Who would it be? I don't know. That's the hard thing. Is like I see a lot of things that are like made, like photos of things like on Instagram. I don't like when it comes to YouTube. I don't typically like search other crochet artists and just like watch them all the time. Usually it's just like if a thumbnail catches my eye or something, I'll give them a click and watch the video or watch part of it. It's kind of, I'm not sure right now. I'm sure I do have a favorite one. I'm just not thinking of them right now. A crochet content creator that, oh, it's getting tied up here. What's happening? What happened here? Sorry, excuse me, I got caught up. Somebody that does come to mind is, I'm sure you guys all know her. Her name is Emma P on YouTube here. I like her channel the stuff that I've seen, I do like it because she's very like to the point. She shows you how to work something. She just gets right down to it. And I know a ton of my followers love her too, because you guys are always commenting on my channel, like saying like, oh, check out this thing Emma did, or do you know who Emma is? Of course I know who Emma is. You could be living under a rock if you crochet and don't know who Miss Emma P is. Zoe Nicole, that's so sweet of you. You're great too. Thank you for saying that. Yes, Cheska, visit that store. Yeah, you will not leave empty-handed. There's got to be something in there that you can find. And they've got every weight of yarn. They've got fingering all the way to chunky. They've got mohair, acrylic, cotton, wool, everything. They got everything there. Brianna Garcia, you sick? Is that a good thing? I'm not sick. What am I doing? I'm trying to whip stitch this goddamn bag together. It's taking me a hot minute. It's already been 40 minutes. Katie, I remember you. Glad to see you on another stream. Hope you had a wonderful trip. I did. I'm trying to think about what trip you're talking about. I know I did the Mexico trip like a month ago now. And then like 2 weeks ago, my boyfriend and I took a trip to see his family. But I'm back home again, yes. Samira, I'm sorry for your hands. I'm from Brazil. Hi, Brazil. And I can't crochet with yarn because it's way too hot for wearing. Yeah, that is the only downside. That's why I'm trying to change the type of yarn that I'm working with, the weight of the yarn. Like I say, a lot of times I use worsted weight and it's acrylic. And those are probably like the two worst things that you could use for wearing accessories or wearing clothing. I have learned that it's a lot more comfortable to wear sport weight yarn or DK weight yarn because the yarn is thinner. So it's a little bit more breathable. And to top it off, I'm trying to use more cotton-based yarns. So acrylic, not really breathable, kind of stiff. Cotton, softer. I don't know. I would suggest if you're trying to wear your stuff, lean more towards like a mix, like a cotton acrylic mix or cotton wool mix. Yeah, worsted weight is just so thick. Zoe Nicole, I have so many different projects I want to do that I get stuck between them all. Story of my life. That's not even a joke. I say this every time I live stream, but I don't think you guys understand when I say I have on my phone, I've written out a list of all of the projects that I want to record video, all the projects that I just want to make for myself. Like I don't even want to make a video on it because it's extreme. Like there are so many things that I have saved on my phone, screenshotted on my phone, written out on my board to do. There's a lot that it can become so overwhelming because there's so many things that are like top of your list. And it's like you kind of want to start one and then you're like, oh, but I forgot I want to make that really cute crop top. And then you start making that one. And it's like, it's so hard to not get caught up. I feel you. That's actually like a problem of mine is I never know where to start, or I just end up starting too many things at once. I don't know how people do it. It gets actually really overwhelming for me. Katie, how cool. You said, I just picked up the aerial top pattern. Gonna start on it now. Yeah. I'm curious, what type of yarn did you pick up for the aerial top? I'm assuming you read the pattern and it says to use a fingering weight yarn or something that you could use like a 3mm hook with. But now I have to know because in like all my videos, I mentioned that I've been using Malik Brigo sock yarn for my aerial tops. But I want to know what you picked up. And I really want to see that finished product. I haven't really seen anybody on like Instagram or social media post their aerial tops. I know a handful of my followers probably got the pattern and they're making them, but I haven't received too much feedback like on their results. From what I saw on that creator's Etsy, the one who made the pattern, I didn't see too many different variations under like the reviews, but I really want to see like what other kind of outcomes there are, because as you guys saw in my yarn haul, if you saw it today, I picked up that purple yarn because I want to make that for myself. But before I went to Mexico, I also picked up like a speckled, hand-dyed blue speckled yarn, and I wanted to make the aerial top out of that one as well, and I have not gotten around to it. So I want to know, I'm dying to know what yarn you chose for your top. Pia, do you know how to knit? I do, but I'm very, very beginner. I've only knit like 3 different things in my whole life. And there's a ton of things that I want to knit. There's a couple different people on Etsy who have knit patterns for like sweaters, and I know that I'm a beginner, and picking up a knit sweater pattern is probably not the move. But I've really been staring at this pattern. It's been sitting in my cart for, I want to say, almost a year, no joke. I can't remember the name of the creator, but it's Emma. It's really cute. It has like a little polo feature on the neck for the sweater. It's really cute. I know that I'm not skilled at knitting. I can do it, but I'll probably mess up a stitch or two here. I'll knit too loose or I'll knit too tight. But I do like knitting. I'm just not super good at it. Jade, where do you find your projects patterns? I have seen some of your crochet clothes. I think you're really talented. Oh, thank you so much. That was pretty good for English not being like your first language. I totally understand what you're saying. For the things that I have put out on my channel, like if it's like a tutorial for step by step, it's a pattern that I've created myself. So a lot of times I'll kind of get inspiration from stuff that people send me like on Pinterest, or I'll be scrolling on Instagram and I'll see a top or a skirt or a dress that I want to make, and it'll kind of like, whether it's the colors in the dress that inspires me, like, oh, I actually want to make that but in a top form, or I'll see like a pattern like on a skirt, but I'll be like, oh, that would look really cute but in a bralette. I just get a lot of my inspiration, I would say, from Instagram the most. There are certain things on my channel that I've made, like the aerial top, but I do mention like if I am using a pattern from someone else, that it's like not my pattern, I didn't create it. And for like example, for the aerial video, I couldn't show you a step-by-step tutorial because like I paid for the pattern, I didn't create it. I'm not allowed to distribute. That's the word. I'm not allowed to distribute the pattern. So I would say, again, like 95% of the things on my channel are patterns that I have just created for myself, and then I show you guys how to make them. But I really appreciate that. My stuff is very basic. I know there's a handful of people on YouTube here that have crazy, crazy designs, or just really intricate crop tops, like beautiful. And I feel like my stuff is like so basic compared to that. But that's also me. It's very rare where I'll wear like a flashy top or something. I'm sure you guys have seen me wear this top in a live stream like 5 times now. I'm very basic. Honeybee, I would love a pattern for the design. Where'd it go? It looks so lovely. Oh, yeah, I think you guys are kind of convincing me. I might release a tutorial DIY for like a bag. It'll be a little bit different from this pattern because, again, this pattern changed. I changed it up so much that I confused myself. And if I'm the one creating it and I'm confusing myself, there's no way that I can teach you guys that. So like I said earlier, I drew out a different pattern for this wavy bag that's a little bit more simple, a little bit more repetitive. And I think I will do that one. Brittany, I think you're going to like that paint box yarn you recently purchased. Yeah, I really like the feel of it. I really like how much thinner it is. It's like a DK weight. To me, it kind of looks almost like a sport weight. But I was talking to somebody the other day and I was asking them like their opinion, and they said that they believe that that was accurately assessed as a DK weight. So I think my opinion on like weights varies. I think it doesn't help that when I go to Michael's or Joann's and I buy the yarn, sometimes they'll label a worsted weight, and it makes sense to me. Like this is to me is look how thick this thing is. It's worsted weight for sure. But then I'll from that same brand, like Lion brand, I picked up that Nubu yarn and the Trubu yarn. And you guys see the difference in how thin that yarn is, right? And they label the Trubu or the Nubu as a worsted weight as well. And there's absolutely no goddamn way in hell that those two yarns are both worsted weight. One is worsted and one is not. So when I start to look at other yarns based on like, I can see the difference. I guess I have like my own gauge for like what I think is DK and sport, and I kind of get confused. But either way, yeah, me on a rant, me getting all mad at Joann's. Yeah, I think I'm going to like the pink box yarn too. I like that it's 100% cotton. I like that it is thinner than a worsted or Aran weight. I'm excited to use it. Let me show you guys, actually. I can't tell you guys what this yarn is for yet. But, oh, where'd it go? Jordan's sleeping. I don't want to go grab the bag and wake him up. I actually didn't pick up. I was sent some really awesome DK weight yarn. I think even Aran weight. Aran using an Aran weight yarn. But you'll see it really soon, guys. You'll see it really, really soon. I'm really excited to use this new yarn. I believe the yarn that was sent to me is by the name Yarn and Colors. And it kind of reminds me a lot of the paint box yarn that I just picked up. But I'll be using, you guys will never guess the yarn that I got. You'll never guess the colors. You'll never guess where I got it. It's going to be a really fun video. Seraphine Jones, I think I remember that name as well. Hi, thank you for returning. That's so cool that we have like a consistent 30 people in here. I'm pretty sure I saw it hit 40 people like 10 minutes ago, something like that. Oh, and all of a sudden it drops. But Fair Eyeless, hi, I love crochet listening, to your videos. Oh, like you like crocheting and listening to my videos at the same time? I hope that's what you meant. But yeah, I like to do that. Recently I've been putting on, not so much YouTube anymore, but I've kind of been gravitating towards Netflix and putting on Netflix shows and crocheting to that. What are you guys watching right now? I actually need some new Netflix recommendations. About a week ago, Jordan and I have been on a binge on watching Breaking Bad. It's embarrassing. I don't want to tell you how fast we went through the entire series, but we went through the entire series and we finished Breaking Bad. And we've both seen it before in the past, but this is our first time watching it together. And we finished that, and then we had no idea what to watch. And then randomly a couple days ago, we saw that Netflix added, I almost said Breaking Bad, we saw that Netflix added the Twilight series, the movies, to Netflix. And we're not the biggest fans of it, but it entertains us. It's funny to watch. I'm not bashing on the show at all. It is a very entertaining show, but we just kind of laugh at the progress of the show, how the first movie is, the script is rough, and the editing is okay. And then by the time we already watched that one like 4 or 5 days ago. And then a couple days ago, we ended up watching the second movie, New Moon. It's New Moon. We ended up watching New Moon. And then there's just such a huge difference already in the acting. Like the script was a lot better, smoother. And even the editing and the videography was a lot better. But we've been watching that series right now, but we need like a series to watch because we don't know what to do right now with our spare time. Exclusively Jai. I remember you from a couple live streams ago, right? Hello to all my new people. I know people are coming and going. It's so hard to like keep up with the chat. And sorry guys, I'm really slow at reading this thing. Brittany, you said you're still at work, but didn't miss this one. Yay! I hope you don't get in trouble. I'll talk quiet. Don't get caught. You know what's crazy? A couple days ago, somebody commented on one of my videos, and she was telling me, I don't know if it's any one of you right now, but this woman was telling me, oh, I'm like working like an 8-hour shift right now at work. She didn't say what her job was, but she just said, I'm working an 8-hour shift right now, and since the beginning of my shift, I have made 3 of your backless crop tops. And she's like, I'm starting another one, and like my shift isn't even over yet. And I read that and I just started busting up, and I showed it to Jordan, and I was like, okay, 1, that's impressive that you can make 3 tops in the course of your 8-hour shift. I think I could probably only finish maybe 2 of those tops. So you're a faster crocheter than I. And to top it off, what job are you doing where you can like commit to crocheting all these tops? And like, you must be like the manager, because there's no way that I would have been able to crochet on my job for the whole 8 hours straight and like not get in trouble. So I started like wondering with Jordan, I'm like, I wonder what her job is that she's like able to like crochet under the desk or something. It's so funny, but all the power to her. I don't know how she needs 3 tops. Marissa Zepernik. I answered this question like in the first 20 minutes of the chat, but I'll answer it again. Marissa says, when did you start crocheting? I first learned how to crochet when I was 6 or 7 years old. I was very, very young, but I saw my aunt one day, and she was wearing a crochet scarf and headband that she had made herself. And I saw it, I died, I loved it so much. I told her, I was like, I have to make that. How did you do that? And she taught me how to make it that day. She took me to Michael's that same day, bought me my first crochet hook. I don't remember what size it was. And she bought me my first yarn. I believe the yarn was by Lion Brand. But that day she taught me how to crochet a double crochet. I learned I was like 6 or 7 years old. And I have been crocheting on and off for the last like 20 years of my life. There were spurts where I didn't touch a crochet hook at all, years. In fact, like I'd say there's probably I don't know. Actually, I think I've crocheted a lot in my life, but I wasn't crocheting every week for my whole life. I'd probably go a year or 2 without touching a crochet hook, and then something would inspire me to make something, or I'd see some yarn and I'd have to pick it up. But I wasn't crocheting every day for the last 20 years. For those who don't know, I'm 27 years old, so if my math is right, I've known the skill of crochet for about 20 years. But I would say by far the last 4 or 5 years have been the most active in my entire crochet life. Oh my God, this chat room is going up. I cannot keep up with this live chat thing. Laws, okay, here it is. What yarn are you using for the bag? I am using, can you guys guess what this yarn is? Do you guys know me well enough? I'm using Red Heart Super Saver. Both of these shades are from the Red Heart Super Saver line. I could not tell you the name of the shades, but I'm sure you can easily find them on Joann's or Michael's, on yarnspirations.com, wherever they sell Red Heart. The Red Heart line, I talked about it in my most recent yarn haul, but the Red Heart line has so many shades. They've got every shade of pink, red, purple, and I mean every shade. Too many colors. It actually drives me insane. I like the Red Heart Super Saver because the color options are pretty endless. They have every shade. I also like it because it comes in a worsted weight, which is really good for like almost any project. Worsted weight is very versatile. My only complaint, also Red Heart is very, very affordable. I believe almost every time I go either online or to the store to buy Super Saver, it's always on sale. And I think originally it's priced probably at $3.99 or $4.99 for an entire skein. And every time there's either a coupon available or there's a sale. And I end up getting one skein for probably $2.50, $2, $2.20, or even like $2.50. It's crazy affordable. But the downside of that is that they're vibrant colors like pink, teal, their red color, their yellows. They're very scruffy. I have made clothing out of the Red Heart, don't get me wrong. I put up with it. I don't mind it myself, but I have heard a lot of people say that they can't handle the scruffiness, how rough it is. In comparison, holding these right now, this teal one is not too bad. It's actually pretty comfortable. I could make a whole dress out of this and wear and not complain. On the other hand, holding this pink one right now, it's scruffy. Like I could make like a dish wash scrubby with this. It's pretty rough, which is why I don't mind making a bag out of it, because I'll throw it on my arm, but it's not like a top that's like rubbing on you. Yeah, Red Heart, they have a ton of shades. Very, very affordable. It's just the line is not consistent. Like I mentioned in my haul, certain colors from the Super Saver line are very soft. Like they're blacks, their ivory cream shade, their white color, some of their beige tan colors, very soft, very what's the word? Squishy, very comfortable on the skin. But then in the same line, however they dye their yarns or make it, their reds, the pinks, the yellow, the more vibrant colors are really, really rough on the skin. So pro and con, pro and con. Oh, here it is. Oh, I've been waiting for this message. Katie, you said I'm using Cascade Hampton yarn. Okay, I know the name Cascade. I didn't know they had a Hampton line, but I know Cascade. It's 70% cotton, 30% linen. I think it's a fingering weight. I chose this blend because I live in Texas and boob sweat is real. I feel you. I feel you. That's probably very comfortable, actually. Cotton and linen. Cascade Hampton yarn. Me, like, about to Google it. Don't mind me. I'm sorry if that was super loud. Oh, it's so affordable too. I mean, more affordable than like a $25 skein of fingering weight yarn. Ooh. Sorry, me. It's like looking at it now, of course. But yeah, it's really they have it available on my Love site. Oh, so I can probably buy some. Nikki Bear, I want to try new stitches. What are your favorite stitches? Maybe you can make it in a video. Yeah, I haven't filmed anything like that yet. The last couple of weeks, I keep coming back to this idea of making like a crochet basics, like basic stitches, where I kind of, not too quickly, but in a faster pace, I kind of show you how to do all the basic stitches that are used in crochet, and then my favorite ones. Honestly, if I had to pick a favorite stitch of all time, I'd probably say it's a half double crochet. A single crochet, just easy, takes forever to work a whole project because you have to add so many rows. Double crochet, I love, but at the same time, you can easily end up with gaps or holes, and it just doesn't look as delicate. I would say my favorite is a half double crochet. It's kind of like a nice middle ground. There's a tutorial that I plan on making really soon where I'm not sure if I'm remembering it correctly. I think the stitch is called an extended half double crochet, and it's really, really similar to the half double crochet, really, really similar to the double crochet. Oh yeah, I remember. But yeah, I want to make another off shoulder top video with the extended half double crochet. So if you know how to do double, it's really easy to transition to the extended. But yeah, I'd say that's my favorite one. It's a half double. I don't use it too often because I used it so much in the past for baby blankets. I use it like on edging for a lot of my products, but I really like the seashell stitch. I think it looks just so, I don't know if the word I want to use is delicate. I just think it looks so beautiful. I really like the seashell stitch. But yeah, I think that'd be a really cool video. Favorite stitches video, or like a basic crochet stitch video. I really appreciate any like the ideas that you guys throw out to me. I need help sometimes because I'm in my head about all the ideas that I have, but like I want to know what you guys want to see. Oh yeah, Sasha. Oh, sure. I cannot keep this. Okay, Sasha, you said for the pattern that uses color work, you can use this like stitch fiddle. Yeah, I have used that in the past. For what did I make that for? Was it for the flame top? I tried, and I think it was like a yin yang pattern. I tried to use stitch fiddle. It's helpful. I think the only issue for me with like if you guys need to like make a pattern, for sure use stitch fiddle. I'm just so particular about like where my stitches go. Like a lot of times I have tried to upload an image or like a pattern to stitch fiddle, and then when it spits the graph work back to me, it obviously doesn't look quite like the image. Like some stitches are off a little bit, and then I end up having to spend just even more time going back in and adding extra stitches where the image didn't correlate, or removing stitches. And then it kind of just gets to a point where I would rather just use a piece of graph paper, count how many stitches or rows I need, and then physically draw the pattern on the graph myself. It's kind of just easier for me that way. I know a ton of people use stitch fiddle, but I'm just so particular about how the image translates onto the graph and vice versa that I've uploaded images and they don't come out looking right, and then I have to spend so much time fixing it myself anyway. So yeah, I'm kind of just the old school graph paper gal. Brittany, some yarn can be that way. I feel like some yarn weights are not what they are labeled to be. Yeah, it's super frustrating. I can't even, let me show y'all what I'm talking about here, okay? Okay, I'm back. And what Brittany's talking about, and what I tried to mention earlier, is that, Okay, well, this is Red Heart versus Lion Brand, but even within Lion Brand, they have inconsistent labeling. Excuse me. Let me show you what I mean. First up, runner-up here, guys, we have Red Heart Super Saver Yarn, and it's labeled here as a weight for worsted yarn. Take a nice, good, long look at it. Y'all see this? Y'all see how thick this looks? Okay, keep in mind, this is classified as a weight for yarn. On the other hand, over here, we have Lion Brand. This is the Nubu yarn that I use for my bikinis. This is Lion Brand Nubu yarn. And this is listed as a weight for worsted weight yarn. So you mean to tell me that these two yarns are the same weight? I beg to differ. Let's have another angle here without my head in the way. Again, these two yarns are both listed as a worsted weight yarn. That doesn't make any sense to me. If I had to relabel, I would say that this yarn up here is a worsted weight. And I would say that this yarn right here is more of a DK weight yarn, or even maybe a sport weight. Like, not the same. And it frustrates me so much. It's you just never know what to expect. Like, I bought the it's just hard for me. Like, I try to, whenever I give like a DIY, I always try to tell you guys, oh, use this type of yarn for this pattern. But then I know other people label it differently from me. And I know I label it different from Michael's or Lion Brand. So it's like, it's really hard when you're buying yarn online because it's not consistent. Like when I bought the paint box yarns, I was ordering a DK weight, but when it came in the mail, in my eyes, from what I'm used to, that's not really a DK weight yarn. In my eyes, that came out to be a sport weight yarn. And I wanted to make an entire dress out of this DK weight yarn, and it comes in the mail and it's like sport weight to me, which means it's going to take so long to make an entire dress out of a number 2 yarn. So frustrating. Lauren, yeah, Twilight is very old. I think it came out in like 2010, but it's just kind of like something that we're rewatching because it's like a family joke. It's like an inside joke with his family, and the movie is just funny because, no offense, but at least back in 2010, all of their acting is so cringeworthy that we find it hilarious. So we've been watching it. Oh, Julianne Aiko. You've been binge watching This Is Us. When we visited Jordan's mom, she was watching This Is Us. And I've heard about the show for years, but I never watched it. And she had it on the TV. And in the course of like 3 days, I think we ended up watching like 10 episodes. I'm not even kidding you. It was good. Abby, I remember you, Abby. Hi. Sorry you're late. No, don't worry. You made it just in time. I think I'm going to hop off in the next 5 or 10 minutes, almost, but you made it in time. Hi. Well, this is an interesting question. Shay Malmere, what yarn would you recommend for some summer weight cargo pants? Preferably rated for a 24-hour shift. I'm assuming that you work in the healthcare industry. Yeah. If I'm to read this correctly, you're making cargo pants? You're going to crochet some cargo pants. I've never heard of that. You have really piqued my interest. If you have a photo like recommendation, I need to see this because you've piqued my interest. What yarn would you recommend for summer weight cargo pants? Well, first of all, you're saying summer. I would say steer clear of worsted weight. I think a lot of it has to do with the type of yarn that you're using. I would say no acrylic, absolutely not. If it's summer weight, and it's a 24-hour shift, you need that thing to breathe. Best guess, I would say DK weight cotton yarn, 100% cotton or cotton acrylic mix. Or even like the other lady who's in here in this chat, she's using a cotton linen mix. It might take you a while to work up a whole pair of pants with like DK weight or sport weight yarn. What yarn would you like? I would just say no acrylic, absolutely not. If you're gonna be sitting and sweating, and you cannot do acrylic, don't do it, don't even try. I mean, you can, but I would not trust my sweat through that. Aurelie, remember you, Aurelie? Hi, Grace. Hi, Grace. Oh, I'm so glad you're here. Maybe there's some time. I'm actually about to leave in a couple minutes, but hi, Grace. Katie, you said big brains can use Excel or Google Sheets to map out patterns too. That's actually very helpful. If I print like an Excel spreadsheet, will it print the grids for me? Right? That might help actually, because I physically draw out all my lines and it's time consuming. Yasmin. I never know how to say it right. Yasmin. Hi, I recognize all these names. I'm so excited. I love seeing returning names. It's Natasha. I deal with whatever this is. Currently, this is what is on my desk. I finished this up yesterday. I made 2 matching balls of a wavy bag pattern that I whipped together. I didn't have a written pattern at the time, which made it very, very difficult because I essentially tried to memorize or like imagine the stitch count in my head and imagine the placement of the stitches, and then proceeded to forget the pattern as I made it. So it took me like a week to make on and off. I'd say like 2 or 3 hours, like 2 hours a day for a week. Yeah, I made this wavy pattern. Yes, it looks pretty cool, I think. But this was too intricate. A lot of people have been asking in this live chat if I'm going to be releasing a tutorial on this, and I think I will. I think I want to. I'm not going to follow this exact pattern. As you can see, it switches up a lot, which made it very confusing. And if I'm the one making the pattern and I'm confused, it's not going to translate well to you guys. So what I'm going to do is make a whole bag either with this thicker pattern here, so the waves will just be these like little waves back and forth, or the entire bag is going to be these longer, thinner pattern. So it'll be long, thin stripes for the whole thing, or short, thick ones for the whole thing, but trying to alternate the pattern, trying to alter this pattern back and forth between these thick and then the thin and then the thick was way too confusing. And I know if I try to make a tutorial like that, I'll not only confuse myself, I will upset a lot of you if I can't teach it correctly. So over on the bed where Jordan's sleeping right now, I just drew out a perspective pattern for the wavy top. Sorry, for the wavy pattern bag. So, man, I have so many things to record. It was kind of nice to come on here today. I just like talking to you all. It's been an interesting week. Today, I tried to take a few days off this week to just not crochet, not edit, because I've been feeling really like overwhelmed. And then I was like, damn, like I want to record, I want to film. And then I started filming and I just didn't even feel good. It's just been kind of stressful. So it was kind of nice to come on the live here like last minute. I know, like, again, I don't schedule these, but it's just been like an interesting day. I wanted to record and then I tried recording and then I was just not in the mood. So in the meantime, I got to talk to all of you. I work on this bag. I still have a ways to go. I need this, in this entire hour and a half that I've been here, I've done one edge of the bag. So I pick it up. Yes, Grace, I'm glad you made it just in time. Because I never really scheduled these ahead of time, I would say to all of you who like keep missing my live streams is to just turn on your notifications. That way when I do go live, maybe like your phone or your computer will alert you. Because I'm already very like strict on when I upload. Like my entire schedule for filming and uploading and editing and uploading is so strict. I don't want to make my live streams like on a schedule either. I'd rather do them when I feel comfortable and when I have time, which unfortunately means not planning them out ahead of time. So if you guys don't want to miss my future live streams, follow. You know what? While I'm out here, for the 17 that are still in here, I'm trying to stream more on Twitch. So here, let me put this. Need some water, guys. What happened there? Okay, well, anyways, down below in the live stream, if you guys are still here, are like my 2 social media handles. So if you guys want to follow me on Instagram, I'm on Instagram. I've linked my @ and I've also made a Twitch account or channel. So I'm trying to stream over on there as well. Yeah, I'm trying to stick more on a schedule with the Twitch one, whereas the YouTube live stream is kind of just spur of the moment. So I won't be on Twitch today, but I'm thinking maybe tomorrow I can set up a stream. So if you guys want to come join me tomorrow, I'll be on there. And since we hit 20K, I need to orchestrate a giveaway. I'm thinking that I might do, I don't really know yet how to construct it, but I'm thinking when I finally announce the winner of the giveaway, it might be on my Twitch stream. So you guys are probably going to want to go follow me on there. It's free. Come, just click the button, come follow me, set your alerts so you know when I'm on. And the cool thing about Twitch too is that I actually got a double camera setup. So I have my webcam on me, and then I also have my filming camera down on my table. So you can see me work while I talk to you guys. It's just a little bit more interactive. Like when I work down here, I have to like bring my work off camera and you guys can't really see what I'm doing. But when I have everything set up for my Twitch, you can see me crocheting away. So go follow that. Yeah. Oh, Sarah, you said, bye, Erin. Bye. I have to go because it's so late here. Thank you for tuning in while you could. I appreciate it. Yasmin, yes, I saw it. You said I sent the names of the yarns for the bikinis on the Instagram, but I think you didn't see. Yeah, I think I did open it. I think you sent me 2 different names, and they sounded Italian. I haven't bought them yet, or even had a chance to like look at reviews of them yet. But I did see your message. I promise. Oh, Grace. I missed your other message, Grace. You said, have you used any yarn from Hobby? I ordered Twister Solid, which is marked as sport weight for a sweater, but it's more like light fingering. It's taking a long time to work up. Yeah. I have not ordered anything from Hobby yet. I have browsed the website, and I have a couple things sitting in my cart. I do that a lot. I'll go to like different yarn sites, even like clothing sites, and I'll see something that I want, and I'll add it to my cart, and I'll sit on it for weeks, if not months. I think that yarn has been sitting in that cart for probably about a month now, maybe a little bit more. It's just that I have so much, it's hard for me to commit, but like when I'm ready to make that jump and buy new yarn, it's already in the cart. I don't remember. Oh, I think the yarn from Hobby that I was looking at is called Amigo. I could be wrong. Amigo? Does that sound right? But bless your heart for using fingering weight yarn for a sweater. I could not. You saw the video where I made that oversized boyfriend sweater. I used worsted weight yarn, and that took me like 3 weeks to finish. It was bad. I don't know how you're doing it with fingering. Bless your heart. But yeah, Grace, I'm almost at 21. Isn't that crazy? I don't know how it blew up so fast, but I'm with it. Alrighty, guys, I'm gonna get going now. I'm sorry to leave the 19 of you. If you leave now, I totally understand. Won't be heartbroken. But yeah, thank you for joining me. Thank you, Grace, for coming on last minute, even when you could. Yeah, like I said, guys, I think I'll be streaming tomorrow on the Twitch. So if you want to come talk to me there, help me build my channel over there, watch me work because I have those 2 cameras set up, come join me tomorrow, Twitch. I'm thinking like 3 or 4 p.m. Oh, thank you everybody for saying goodbye. Siana. I will have a great night. Thank you so much. And yes, Grace, hopefully you can catch tomorrow. Yeah, I'll see all of you guys soon. Of course, no video out on Monday. Any other updates? I don't think so. All right, I'm gonna hop off, guys. Thank you so much again for joining me. I really feel like I've got like close friends here when I do these live streams. And like I say, filming and editing is a very solo job. So like working in the house all day can get very lonely. So it's really cool to have people to talk to and spark my inspiration and stuff. I hope that you guys all have really good days. I appreciate you guys for coming and being a part of the live chat. Yeah. Okay, I'll see you guys later. Bye. Have a good day, night. Stay safe. See you all tomorrow. Come check me out tomorrow. Bye.